Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. Paris Saint Germain set to face FC Barcelona, and as usual, the best guest to represent FC Barcelona is here with us. Barca boy, welcome yourself.
What's good? What's good, everybody? Happy to be back. Happy to get a victory in this game because I need it.
So, Paris Saint Germain to face off versus FC Barcelona. We've already recorded a more preview-esque stream on Barca Boys channel. If you haven't subbed, I don't know what you're doing. So make sure to go over to Barca Boys channel. When this video is posted, it should probably be posted there as well. If it hasn't yet, it will be posted soon. So put on notifications. Why not? So, big game coming up. And we've discussed many stuff on his channel already. And obviously, I wanted to discuss other stuff so it just doesn't become the same kind of thing. The first, the funny thing that we like to do is the combined 11. It's a bit hard because usually you want to go off form in the new season, but not many games have been played. Some players have missed games as well. So I guess we'll do more of 2025, but still a little bit of what's going on this season so far, especially with some of us having some new signings. So, goalkeeping position. Shout out to Chevalier. But I'm going to put Juan Garcia, despite the mistake he made yesterday. I mean, it's barely like he did actually good coming out of the goal and everything. Then the pass to Casado was a little bit overhit. But Chevalier, obviously, mistake in the UEFA Super Cup. A huge mistake. And then a huge mistake in Le Classique. Two big games. I mean, he did it versus Oviedo. Chevalier did it versus Marseille and Spurs. Well, for me, Juan Garcia takes the goalkeeping spot.
Yes. Couldn't agree more.
All right. Moving on to the defense. I'm going to put Hakimi Nuno.
Yeah, you can put both of them in. Yeah.
It's a bit unfortunate that Balde has been injured. Was injured towards.
Well, Balde is number 2, right? It's not a bad thing to be the number 2 best left back in the world. Where it probably bounces around based on form.
Yeah, but it's just unfortunate we haven't been able to see him towards the end of big games last season and then
season.
Shout out to Kunde as well. Kunde actually gets so disrespected. I don't know if you know that SDS, those delusional Premier League panel. They did best 3 players in every position. And for right back, they didn't have Kunde in top 3. I think they had Hakimi, Trent, and Timber.
Yeah, Timber. Okay. I hate Premier League fans so much. They're so dumb. Look at Paul Scholes, for example. He sees Pedro, he's like, oh, I've never seen a midfielder. He's been playing for 5 years. Go watch. He just likes to watch. He'd rather watch United, who are crap week in, week out, than go at least delve into some, champagne football.
By the way, I don't know if you can see, but your camera is very lagging.
Is it? It's not for me. Are you sharing your screen? You're not sharing your screen, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, you don't have anything on the screen. But since this is a recording, when you get the recording, you'll see me in the highest level. Yeah, I can see me lagging here, but from what I'm seeing, I'm good. If you want to stop the recording, then see the download. It records it in me being HD. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, hopefully. All right, that don't matter. Centre backs, I would go for Pacho and Kubarsi.
Are we doing it as with injured players? Are we gonna discount the injured players? Or we just do everyone fully fit?
No. Let's do everyone fully fit. I mean, that attack would be so weak.
Yeah, Pacho Kubarsi. Yeah. I don't think I can make a case for.
Is there a question mark on Pacho or is there a question mark on Kubarsi? Because I know Eric Garcia has been really good form into last season and beginning of this season.
Yeah, so since we're mainly focusing on last season, I would say Pacho then, because I can't really make I think Eric Garcia has been fantastic. I think Ado has been good to start the season as well, but I can't really make a strong enough case for them to take away from Pacho.
So I actually thought about doing this before. No, actually, no. I was thinking about a 4-man midfield, but we'll just do a normal 4-3-3. In midfield, once again, really simple. I think Vitinha, Pedri, and Joao Neves, I would do in the midfield three. Don't tell me you're falling for the ding dong hype, man. The ding dong hype.
No, I'm not falling for no hype. I've been on the ding dong hype train from time. Okay, since we're doing more focus from last season, I'll give it to you. But if we're doing this
even this season, Neves scoring one of the best hat tricks of all time.
no, okay, no. I mean, one hat does not mean that he's better over course of matches. I mean, Frankie De Jong. Look at the Oviedo game last night. He won us the game. One sub in the pivot helps us win a game.
Yeah, but obviously it's the big games you look at. I mean, what?
Yeah,
Joao
of
Neves
course.
last season better than any De Jong season at Barca.
Because he won, he won the big.
I'm sure looking at big. Even I'll put even. I think Casado. When you look at Casado, you know that week he had versus Bayern and Madrid. Has De Jong ever had as good big game performances as Casado did?
I think so. Yes, I think a lot of it gets overshadowed. I think of
Pedri.
No, of the agenda. Like I would say, the Copa del Rey final that we were in 2 years ago. He was the best player on the pitch, and Messi was playing in that game as well.
The 2020. I do think that's probably maybe De Jong best when Coman played
best big game
up front.
No, there's so many I can name. Like even the games where we've played poorly and got knocked out. For example, like against PSG and whatnot. I think the PSG one, the last one we had, the Monjwiki had a bit of a sinker. Was that? I think he was playing at the time. But during that last year or so, before he came back in January this year, he was out injured for basically the year. So that's why I feel like the narrative has been, used a lot against he doesn't play in big games. I remember I had an argument on Twitter once, and I listed all the big games where he performed well. I mean, look at the Classico 4-0 last season. He came off the bench at halftime, changed the whole game, and helped us win the match. I'm just thinking maybe just on last season only. Copa del Rey final, he was fantastic. The 5-2 game, he was the best player in the second half for Barcelona.
The Super Copa de España.
Because we were at what you call it, down to 10 men, so we had a lot of defensive actions.
Oh yeah, Chesney, yeah.
So I think he came on as a sub during that time because he wasn't fit yet. Dortmund first leg, sensational as well. He always performed. Yes, the Joao Neves have a better season, of course, because he won the big trophies in the end. But I think that Frankie De Jong's performances are definitely on par, if not better. I think of for a midfield three of De Jong, Pedri, and Vitinha is way more balanced than a Vitinha, Neves, Pedri. If we're going strictly basically playing on the pitch, but of course that's not what we're doing. We're going based on form and who's better and stuff like that. Since we're focusing more on last season, we'll give it to Joao Neves, but I think that Frankie De Jong does have a very, very, very strong case.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Pacho, where I just said Pacho could have it because I don't have a case. I think De Jong here definitely has a very, very strong case.
In attack, again, straightforward, Yamal, Rafinha, Dembele.
Yeah.
All right. That's the PSG Barca combined 11.
So easy.
The best thing about this is it will change. It will change. Let's say if PSG face Barca in the quarters on the semis and we do a combined 11, it will be a bit different.
It'll probably be like 10 Barca players, maybe 11. So
no, don't forget we peak in 2026, man. This is only preseason for us. And yeah, that's actually a feeling we've started to get ever since Luis Enrique came in, because we've been obviously this season has been the best start in our 3 seasons under Luis Enrique, but we do treat, how can I say, from August until December as a preseason. How do you feel about that? Do you see it same way for Barca? I know you have the league.
Yeah, we have a competitive league, so that's why we gotta try a little bit. I know you have Liga and McDonald's, so you're kind of chilling a little bit.
But with the UCL, especially with the new group, how it is, you just gotta go through and then.
Yeah, I mean, again, you do have you are kind of finesse with based on where your club is because you're always going to get a tough group stage because certain teams can't face each other, so you're going to get stitched up every single year probably with tough draws. Maybe that will maybe combat having a bit of a weaker league in terms of your quality and standard to what your the league is. But there's everybody said he wants to compete, so hopefully he can do a little something. But yeah, I think you guys have the wiggle room to do that. Of course, if we could, we would as well. But if you look at the La Liga, we're both neck and neck with Madrid. We of course have one draw. Hopefully, they can lose or draw this weekend in the Madrid derby to make it all even. And it's two of the best teams in the world in the same league, battling out every single time. I kind of hope that Marseille get like €1 billion cash injection, get some good teams in there, and make it a little tough. If you win the league this season, is that your fourth or fifth in a row?
2022, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26. Yeah, it would be fourth in a row since we lost it to Lille.
Yeah, I think
fifth because we won 21, 22. It was 2021 we lost.
You supporting PSG, you've only seen two teams win league, right? You saw Lille with Galtier, then you saw Monaco, right? With Falcao, like so those only you've lost 2 league titles since 2011 that you've been supporting PSG. So I think if you have that option, you definitely take advantage of it. This is probably the perfect time for Enrique to get his team fully fit, play the way he wants to play, maybe even try a few things like he did in the Le Classique with that 5 at the back. So you have the options there, but as Barcelona, we don't, unfortunately, because everyone wants to beat us and everyone wants to beat you in Liga as well. But I think the style of La Liga, it gives chances, like 1 or 2% chances for teams to have an upset against us.
Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is Champions League. How confident are you that this can be Barca's year?
I'm not. I mean, for me to be confident ever again, I have to see us win it. I've reached a point now where, I've had all these false hopes and false dreams and realities where until we win it, I'm never gonna go into a season saying I think we're gonna win it. The last time I felt like we were gonna win the Champions League when Rafinha scored against Inter 3-2. The time before that was Messi's free kick against Liverpool. Time before that was MSN. After we won it the second season going in, I'm like, at the beginning, we're gonna win it. Who's gonna stop us? 3 times in 11 years. And doesn't mean that I can go into it. I think we have the capability. I think we can. I think we need a lot of luck because that's what you need. I think, what would you say your lucky moments were last season? Maybe Rashford getting hooked against Villa. What else?
What do you mean?
Like your lucky moments where you got like a little bit of edge to help you win the game or progress. Maybe Donnarumma's masterclass against Arsenal. These little things where you, for example, in our favor, if Gerard Martin, pushes Dumfries, makes a challenge, we would have had the greatest UCL final of our lifetime. Stuff like that where you want those 5 margins going your way. Arujo not making a mistake and everything fell in your way. Not to say that you didn't deserve to win, but you always need luck to win the Champions League. You need something to go your way. Whether it be the draw. Yeah, so we're very unlucky. I think we had a very easy draw last season as well. We got the easiest route possible, but when we got to the one semi-decent good team, we failed. Especially even Dortmund as well. That was a good team. We lost away from home as well. People like to forget that. But the big difference will be in this season is, of course, however high you finish, that will dictate if you play the second leg home or away. We talked about this on our show last season where we said that makes more sense. Whoever finished higher gets home advantage. Why got to do a draw, something, and they're going to do that this year. So finishing higher and higher will be important. If we can get a whole route to a final with having the second leg at home, things can be different. But I can never sit here and say yes. I think put my balls on the table and say Barcelona win the Champions League because I don't think that until I see
like your power index, your top 5 favorites.
In no order, I would say PSG, Barca, Liverpool, Bayern, Madrid. Probably be like the top 5 teams, I would say.
Yeah,
maybe
same here.
Maybe like Arsenal is a low key shout. Maybe
them and Chelsea, you could call them like dark horses.
Yeah, like low key ones. But I think it'll definitely be between one of those 5. It depends who faces each other, who gets the easier route, who avoids everything, who has the advantage. But I don't think in my life I'll ever say that I'm confident Barcelona can win the Champions League until I see them winning again. Because it's been too long now. It's not like, for example, Madrid, who maybe don't go 2 years without winning it and say, okay, I'm confident. Because I was confident back in the day too. I can say, yeah, we can go and win it. But it's been too long now where I need to see it be lifted for me to have any confidence.
Like, we never saw it, but we were.
That's your first time. That's your first time, and you had fair eliminations, unlike us. You had Manchester United, where maybe it was a bit of an upset when Rashford scored. Maybe the Dortmund one as well. But you had like 1 or 2. You didn't have like me every single season. We don't lose based on. We either lose because we're shit or we lose because we're incredibly unlucky. So, for example, I can go through it. Inter last second goal, Araujo red card, us being crap when we faced you in COVID, us being crap against Bayern, unlucky against Anfield, unlucky against Rome, Juventus. We were crap, and that's why we lost the first leg. Then, of course, the handball from Atletico Madrid, we didn't get our way from Iniesta on Gabi, the Atletico Madrid captain. All these things are an accumulation. I can say to you on repeat because they're all engraved in my brain, and I can never forget about them.
But you even missed some from us. Benzema hat-trick. Filthy. Disgusting. I remember we played City. Do you remember the goal City got? It was some fugazi cross by De Bruyne that went in. Like he crossed it. And then when the wall just opened up for Mahrez's free kick.
So, that one in like the snow during like COVID? The one where they lost to Chelsea in the final?
Yeah. The snow one was the away one. The home one, that's where we bottled it. We were 1-0 up. We're dominating Pep City. And then just 2 goals out of nowhere. But I think you should be... For me, one thing I understood last season, both when it comes to the UCL and the Club World Cup, the desire is extremely important. I don't think any team wanted the UCL more than us. Maybe Barca, close to us.
No, I think...
Club World Cup, I saw in the final, Chelsea wanted that more than us. I think in the Classique on the weekend, Marseille wanted to win that game more than us. So who do you think wants it more? Who's more desperate for it?
I think last season showed how desperate we were. We were hyping it up. I think that was the first time in a long, long time where Barca fans were saying like mid-season, like, holy shit, we can actually win the Champions League. And I was saying it too. We can definitely. I can say right now we definitely can win it. Whether I say we will win it is what is the deciding factor, because the team has to believe in it. They come out, they say we believe, and they did that last season, and we all hyped up on the train, and then they bottle it and they say, "Oh, we tried. We're sorry. We're an embarrassment. We're gonna try again next season." You've never seen PSG lift it, so that's why you always have the excitement. Oh, will this be our year? I've seen it a few times, but I'm like, until I see it again, I can't be bothered to get hyped and dick ride players basically until they put in the performance.
But do you regret being confident?
Or
believing in it?
No, because that's the beauty of the game. That's what football's all about. I didn't think we were gonna win it last season. I thought we were gonna get to the final. I was very confident that we were gonna get to the final. Of course, I had believed that a final against PSG. I definitely backed Barcelona. We can win it. But when it's the same story every single time, a last minute winner or us choking it, and it gets boring. So until I see us lift it, overcome it, like even if you ask me right now, how can Barcelona win the Champions League? I would say I don't know. We've had the easy route, we've had the hard route, we had home legs, second leg, we had home legs, away from home, second leg. We've done it all, and we've choked every single time. So
yeah, but I don't think you should compare like last season to like previous battlings, because like last season,
of course, yeah.
Like if you just make a little bit of improvements on last season, you're in the final. If you play that second leg game with the experience you got from last season, you go through.
But to counteract that, I would say that last season we had by far the easiest route you could have to a Champions League. We had Benfica,
but don't
Dortmund,
you think it's a bad
and
thing?
Inter.
Like, look at us.
I don't know.
Tough group stage. We had a tough draw, but it makes you always like.
That's my point. I've seen Barcelona have hard routes, easy routes, complicated routes, medium routes. I've seen us have. I remember the season where you knocked us out, the Araujo card. I thought then like, oh, we have a good run. We had Napoli in the round 16. We had you in the quarterfinal, but we had second leg at the Montjuic. We had our home advantage. After that, we would have played Dortmund. Then you have an El Clasico Champions League final. El Clasico 50-50. Anything can happen. Same thing, for example. Yes, we were absolutely crap that season. We weren't playing what we were playing last season, but Champions League knockout stage where you only need a little bit of luck, anything can happen. So you have that little bit of belief. I remember when that draw happened, I said, okay, if you beat PSG, you can look at my streams at the time before we collabed. I said, we beat PSG, we're in the final. Because I think it was Dortmund, Atletico Madrid. I would have backed a crowd Barca side against either of those teams. Beat PSG, you're in a final. We won the first leg on Eid. I'm thinking, oh, we won it on Eid. It's a sign. We're going to go through and then see what happens. So that's why I'm at a point now as a Barca fan where I just need to see us win it. And however long it takes, whatever the route is, I don't care if it's easy route, hard route. I'm going to, of course, hope for the easy route every single time because that's what you do as a fan. But until we win it, I can't sit here at the beginning of the season and say, oh, yes, we're going to win it this year because every single year something always comes up.
Because the thing I said before about desire, then, I think the teams that desire it the most is 3/4 clubs. So the slash club is Arsenal. I think Arsenal just badly want to win something. And the two big trophies is the Premier League and the Champions League. And we saw, they made a deepish run last season. They definitely got some experience from it, strengthening the squad a bit. But I would still put them in slash because Arsenal is Arsenal. So the three clubs for me is PSG. I think despite us winning it last season, losing the Club World Cup final, and I just think we have the desire to go back to back. Not many teams that win the UCL have as much desire as I've seen from this PSG team. Like Liverpool, when they won it, I didn't see the desire to go back to back. Maybe City had the desire to go back to back a little bit. Madrid is an anomaly. Madrid go for the UCL in every single season. It's a maniac club, man. And then obviously Barca, heavy desire to win the Champions League for the first time in 11 years. And then I think one club is Bayern München. I think Bayern, a lot of people are comparing them with the Barca Bartomeu era. They are doing so many ridiculous decisions. I've read that there's a release clause in Kane's contract. There's a release clause in Musiala. There could be one in Ulises. Upamecano, the negotiations aren't going well. He could leave in the summer. So for me, Bayern, I see them as a, lost chance, lost push. They know they're really strong this year, and they will try to go for it. So, yeah, if I had to predict one of the winners, I think it would be Barca, PSG, or Bayern. I don't think Liverpool. I think Liverpool, too many signings, plus they will focus on the Premier League. And Madrid, they are, at least for now, too much of a project, I think.
I think what will decide it is... Yeah. I think what will decide it is who comes up against who. Who will avoid the bigger team? Will it be Bayern against Barca, Bayern against PSG over two legs, PSG versus Madrid, Liverpool versus Barca? Because at some point, those five top teams, two of them are going to clash at some point in the knockout rounds. So unless there's huge upsets where we get knocked out by Club Brugge or something. So that's why it's complicated to go back to back. And that's why Madrid, when they did it, they had to cheat to do it. So that's why they did it. And that's why no one else in our lifetime, and since the Champions League was, recreated in 1992, has anyone gone back to back. I think Barcelona probably had the second best chance when we lost to Inter. I think Madrid also had a chance as well in the early 2000s before the Galacticos era. So you have to cheat to do it. No one wants to cheat. So keep it humble out here.
For me, it's either back to back or, as you said, how Barca did 09, 011.
Like so you could lose maybe this year, like semi-final, for example, and go. Would you be disappointed if you got knocked down in the semis but you went for it? You wouldn't be, right? Because we went for it. Respect the effort.
Yeah, plus we won the UCL last year, so you can. It's like a food or fire. You can live off. How long would you say you can live off a UCL? Maybe 2-3 seasons, and then you're like, we need a UCL.
Yeah, especially being your first one, definitely maybe a season or two. Especially with you, for example, all your reaction.
14-15 one.
Huh?
How long were you happy with the 14-15 one?
Very, very long time. I was happy. I was even hyped. I was probably hyped about it still before probably the round 16 when we faced Arsenal. Like I was still watching replays and all that because the road we had probably the hardest road to a Champions final ever because we faced every single champion at the time. Probably still the hardest road, I would say. So I was living off. Even when we lost Atletico, I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. We, didn't go our way. But last season was so great. I think probably, I would say, probably like before remontadas, where I'm like, all right, I need a Champions League. Like I'm thirsty, Because at that point, you're like, okay, MSN now are like in their third season. We've got to take advantage of having the best strike force of all time. 2 out of 3 Champions League is a good record, not too bad. That's what you're
Yeah.
thinking. So probably I'll say before Remontada.
I've seen a lot of people when I bring it up, like, oh, it's not gonna happen. As you said, only Madrid have done it, and you said cheating way and everything. Could you see it happen? Could you see PSG winning? Not that it will happen. Could you see it? Could you see this PSG team go back to back, or do you think teams have found weaknesses in this team? Do you think other teams are too strong for PSG?
The hardest part about going back to back is that every single team wants to beat you. They want to be the ones that dethrone the champions. For example, if you face Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals, Bayern Munich can knock you out, then they get knocked out by us or Madrid or Liverpool, whoever. But everyone wants to be the one that dethrones the champion. That is why it's hard, because they want to dethrone you, and also they know your tactics a bit more. It's easy maybe to find some loopholes and stuff like that. They maybe won't show it until the game actually happens and things of that nature. But that's the hardest part, is that everyone wants to be you. Look at the Madrid ones, for example, where they had to cheat. Bayern Munich were thirsty. They were begging to knock Madrid out even once. If you offered a Bayern fan at the time, knock Madrid out, but you went with the Champions League, they all would have taken it. They were thirsty. Same thing with Atletico Madrid. You offered them, knock out Madrid, but you go trophyless. They would have taken it. That's how desperate they wanted to beat Madrid. That's why Madrid maybe had to do a little bit of, cheating in the background. But that's the hardest part, that everyone wants to beat you. Everyone's going to be out for you. Can PSG do it? 100%. I think it comes down mainly to teams' hunger, managers' hunger, the opponents they face, and I think if they just really focus on just Champions League, maybe not fully rotating league, but maybe making 4 or 5 rotations like every weekend to keep the team really, really fresh, they can definitely do it easily. I think probably out of all the teams that can, they probably have the highest chances. The league is a bit weaker compared to the rest.
I mean, I think it's more about the squad age. Usually, when teams win the UCL, it's when the age-wise they've peaked or towards the end of their peak. City side win the UCL when they're towards the end of their peak. Whereas PSG is the second youngest side. Only Ajax in, when Kluivert, Rijkaard, and them won it. That's the only team that has won it younger than us. So I think, for me, I think it would be like, if it's not this year, it will be next year. If it's not that year, it will be the other year. I think we have I compare us to best prime Madrid and prime Barca. Not that we're the same, but we're going to dominate our years like they dominated their years.
You definitely have a better chance of going 2 out of 3 than back to back, I would say. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but the aim is there. And, Lucho, Hakimi, everyone, I'm reading conferences and everything. They're like, that's the aim. Back to back. I know, it's like we tasted this blood and we're like, it's still tasty, man. And I think
here's the problem, though. When you want to go and taste that blood, there's going to be all these Wolverines around you waiting for you to come to the blood so they can snatch it at you too and get more blood. They'll get your blood that you want and then the blood of yours as well. So, for example, for me, if we knock you out and we go into the Champions League, I would say not only did we win the Champions League, we also dunked on PSG. So, all going to have the same thing.
That's Chelsea fans, honestly, they celebrated beating PSG more than they celebrating winning the Club World Cup. Beating PSG was a bigger trophy for them. Obviously, Club World Cup still doesn't have as nowhere close value as a UCL would get value throughout time. But I think that was a good thing with us. Not a good thing that we lost the Club World Cup. But if you told me win a UCL and Club World Cup, it would have been so special. First club to ever do that. We don't even know if clubs would come close to reaching a final and winning. But if you told me, would you do that or go back to back? Obviously, back to back. So that's the only positive thing about us losing the Club World Cup final. Yeah, because it gave us UCL so much bigger, man, and back to back.
But being able to say you're the only team that won everything in one season, 7 trophies.
I know.
You can't take Barcelona's one, not special thing, but one of their big silver linings. Like, you know what, hold that, and you hold that for a lifetime because anyone doing 7 in a row is going to be hard because you have to win the Champions League in the same season where the Club World Cup's happening, which is every 4 years. Only one team had the chance every 4 years, right? So I probably would have favored, Club World Cup over back-to-back Champions Leagues. But now that you didn't win the Club World Cup, of course you're gonna aim for that.
No, we'll still join the 6-2 per club with Bayern
Hey,
and
calma,
Barca.
calma, calma. International Cup. I need some. I need some upsets.
We're playing some bum team. I think we'll play. I don't know who's the best. Probably maybe a South American team will play. Maybe the only thing that has changed from when you guys used to play it, I think they also did it for the recent years for like Madrid and so on. It's only one game. So when you won
The
because
first year
the
was
big
one
one I
game.
remember in 2011, right? When you
I think this
faced
is
off Neymar.
yes, but I think this is the first season where the UCL winner jumps right to the final. This is the first time. 'Cause I remember last season Madrid played a semi and a final. So this is the
I,
first season where, yeah,
I
I'm pretty
only
sure. No,
remember their Pachuca game. I only remember them playing in the final. And I
okay,
actually, when they won it, that was the first time it was called the
the Intercontinental
Intercontinental.
Cup. Maybe I'm wrong.
Wait, who won it the year before? City, right?
Before my City, yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna see how many games they played. Wait, Barca, August, September. Yeah, Madrid only played Pachuca in the final,
okay.
and then Manchester City. Gotta go a
Man
long
City
way back.
played too. I remember them playing too.
They played too, so it must have been a new thing.
But maybe just from the last season because since they made that last season Intercontinental Cup. Okay, yeah, 2011 we played against Neymar's team in the final. Neymar Santos. In 2015 we played against River Plate. And I think they were both in like Asia. They were both in like Japan or something like that. I remember waking up at like 3 a.m. to watch the games.
Yeah, City played too. City played semi-final Urawa Red, and then a final Fluminense.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a small change. But yeah, and to go back and circle around back to the game. Oh, Fabio Ruiz felt muscle pain in the game versus Marseille. The Spaniard is
Live
likely to
reaction
start
to
on
another
the bench.
injury.
Okay. Now he'll be in the squad. He'll start just on the bench versus Auxerre, not
Okay.
Barca. But man, I don't know. It's like there's less pressure on this game. Maybe that makes the game even more entertaining to watch.
Yeah,
Because like
definitely.
both teams have, I don't like to say it, but both teams have valuable excuses if the worst thing happens.
Yeah, but nothing will hide a 5-0, 4-0 win. You know what I mean? Maybe even a
Yeah,
3-0 win. Nothing will hide that. If it's a close game, you can definitely say, yeah, 5 margins. We'll see you next time. Enjoy
true,
the
true,
win.
true.
But if one team can just get that, because the biggest win is what, 6-1 for us. What's after that? You beat us 4-0. Did we ever beat you 4-0? No, we beat you 3-0 once, Camp Nou. You beat us 4-1, Camp Nou. So, get another big win under your belt for the record. Like more than 3 goals scored with a clean sheet. Can't take away from
And
that.
what would you say is worse for the optics? Barca losing or PSG losing?
Worse for the optics.
Because like if we lose, then the narrative will fully
Back Barca.
everyone will join it. No, in the sense of when we lost to Chelsea, people like suddenly wanted to flip on us. Oh, PSG have been exposed. They're not the
Mhm.
same again. But yeah, I think if we lose to you guys, then people would say, yeah, PSG isn't the same as last season. I don't see them winning the UCL again. La 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 la. What would be the optics for Barca?
I think if we win, it'd be like you're gonna win. Oh, we're gonna win the Champions League, all this and all that. If we lose, it's like, okay, this game didn't really matter. Let's at least finish in the top 3. Let's regroup and let's face them with our strongest team. Even last season, we forgot to mention this when we were talking about Barcelona's form of the Champions League. We always have injuries in big games as well. Like last season, we missed out on 2 big players. I think Balde, with Gerard Martin making the mistake, of course, Balde would have made a big difference in that game. So stuff like that will always come into play. But I think, yeah, if we win, it's going to be, oh, Barcelona going to win the Champions League. If we lose, it's like, oh, let's at least finish high in the group stage. We can still finish first, and then we can circle back.
What's your thoughts about Madrid? Have you watched Madrid? What do you think of them? How much better are they than last season?
Barca?
No, Madrid.
It's a bit of the same for me, really. I don't really see too much of a difference. They have new players. Hoisin, Alvaro, Mastantuono and whoever else made Trent. They have Militao and Carvajal back from ACL injuries. You have season 2 of Kylian Mbappe. So they seem a bit fresher, but I think the style of play in the games and the results looked about the same to me. They're getting 5 penalties, counterattack goals. It's not something where I'm going to be worrying about. I saw a Madrid fan say that Madrid have had a harder start to the season than Barcelona and were top. And I said to them, buddy, we played all of our games away from home. Like, what are you smoking? You've had all your games at home. We've had all of our games away from home. Like, their toughest game away from home was Sociedad, and Sociedad are like in the relegation battle right now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I think the start of the season has been quite even, to be fair. But I think with us playing more away games, we're gonna have a better advantage later on, being hopefully back at the Camp Nou. But I don't see too much of a difference. I think maybe once they get that first loss, they might, get some better. The issue was with Ancelotti last season. They started off well. Then once they got that loss, I forget what loss it was, and they started just losing Liverpool, Milan, and then they started just, every decent team would end up beating them. And at that time, they were trying to shoehorn Bellingham and Rodrigo and Vinicius and Mbappe. But wait and see what happens when Bellingham comes back. That's also a point people get mentioned. Now the team's a bit more balanced. They don't have Jude. When Jude comes back, who's been making way? Will Gula be dropped? Will they drop Vinicius again, go with more natural wingers? That also will be something they have to look out for as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? We would not be sharing our prediction here. You'll have to be forced to go to Barca was see the prediction for the game. But both of us are excited for this upcoming game. I mean, look, the most important thing, if we just look at it maybe from a neutral perspective, this will be a very exciting game. PSG and Barca play the best football, the most attractive football, a lot of technical football players, and both are teams that, this is why I said about the Premier League teams. The Premier League teams, when they go into a game, they try not to lose. Whilst both of us will go for the win. We will not go in there to not lose and sit back and defend. So I still think this will be the football quality-wise the best game of 2025, despite the missing players and so on.
By far, yeah.
You know what? It's just going to be another moment for other players to turn up. We saw Khvicha in the game for PSG versus Atalanta. Dembouz wasn't there. Khvicha turned up as the main man in that game. We saw versus Newcastle, Yamal was missing. Rashford turned up. Yes, Yamal will be back for the PSG game, but now Rashford could be a dangerous threat. So that's the thing with both of these teams. Yes, they're missing some players, but the replacements aren't that far away from them. They're coming in and substituting in. The only big one-ish, I would say, is Dembouz. When you look at the distance, because Rafinha, you're replacing with Rashford in good form. That's still calm. And yeah, as you said before, Szczesny one. How big of a drop-off do you think it is? Because you said strictly because he hasn't played this season.
Yeah, I think Szczesny. I still back Szczesny. I think he's a great goalkeeper. I think in terms of shot stopping, he's still on a good level. I just worry about his form mentally, playing in possession, stuff like that, just because of the rustiness. But from what we saw from him in the last 6 months of last season, there's no reason for me to be super. I am a bit, disappointed, but I'm not like panicking. Like, oh my god, it went from Joan Garcia to Ter Stegen. It's a drop off, but not significant enough where I gotta lose my mind over.
So the only ones like you would panic over is Yamal and Pedri?
Yeah.
For me,
we've done well without Yamal the past few weeks. I mean, we're winning, but I know for big games we'll miss him a lot. I'll probably say, you know what, Yamal, Pedri, and De Jong, probably those three are like my ones where I don't want to get injured. Like, even if Kubarsi gets injured, we have options. And Balde is so injury prone that I'm used to Gerard Martin playing big games now. It sucks and it's shit, but I'm on whatever. Vermin and Olmo can interchange as well. And if Gabby was fit, he could also play. I think Gabby would be really good in the 10. But right now, for me, Pedri, Yamal, and De Jong are the three big ones. Maybe when Bernal comes back fully fit, he can maybe provide some good coverage for that pivot. But right now, he's still way too early to come back. I don't think he'll even touch the grass against PSG. But those would be my three. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my one would be Dembouz, Vitinha, Hakimi. And once again, a lot of it has to do with that drop-off. We don't have anyone that can play the Dembouz false nine role.
Who are your backup?
We don't. I mean, on the left, Nuno he tucks in. We play three at the back as Hakimi pushes up. So then we play maybe Lucas Beraldo, Lucas Hernandez there.
Right.
But
But
on
who
the
you have
right,
no?
we play like João Neves, Warren Zaire Emery instead of Hakimi.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
it's a little bit. So it's mostly about the rotation. So as I mentioned, we will now do a prediction result-wise. But in the last video, you said both teams will score. I believe it too. So both of us will pick one player from each team that will score in the game, and we'll see if we're correct.
You go first.
Okay, from PSG. From PSG, easy one. I mean, obviously, you can always go. I mean, Hakimi scored a couple of goals for us last season. Nuno can score goals. But I'm going to pick one of the attackers, and it could be Khficha. But I'm going to go for Bradley Barcola. He knows the stadium.
I hate you.
And from Barca, I mean, got to be Rashford. The form he's in. And look, this is not me like Yamal or something. Yamal obviously less likely. Leva, I don't know about Leva because Leva, he's had this he came into the season with the injury. It's been Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres could be hot off the bench if he doesn't start as well. But I'm going for Barcola Rashford.
I'm gonna go with Lamine Yamal and Hakimi.
Yeah, fair.
Mm-hmm. Hakimi's gonna cook Gerard Martin so hard, man. I'm actually scared for that if Gerard Martin starts.
The thing with Hakimi, like dribbling or something, he's mid. But if he's found by a pass and he runs in behind, that's when he's dangerous. It's a bit like Rafinha. Rafinha, you want him to get in behind through a pass from Pedri or Yamal or something. It's a little bit the same with Hakimi. The one that could cook is Nuno. I still remember that nutmeg he had on Kunde. I can't wait. All right then. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed this preview podcast going into the FC Barcelona Paris Saint Germain game. Hopefully, please. I mean, inshallah, no more injuries. All right, it's enough. Enough is enough.
Inshallah.
Let's have a game on the weekend. We have a game on the weekend. Just no injuries, please. No injuries, man. Yeah, hopefully, maybe we get some surprises. Maybe some players recover quicker than they should be. But I think maybe Due and Neves for us are like hope. But when it comes to Juan Garcia, Rafinha, and Ousmane Dembele and Marquinhos, they are fully out. And yeah, we just hope they recover, as good as possible. But yeah, that's been it for the podcast. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed this. Make sure to check out Barca Boys YouTube channel. Be link in the comments down below. Watch the stream. We did obviously a preview like 2 weeks ago as well ahead of the game. So if you want to watch that as well. And both of us will obviously do watch-alongs. So it's like you can change between them. Oh, Barca scored. Let's see Inter Barca. PSG scored. Let's see both. You can do that as well. Hopefully, guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez Paris.